Apa khabar semua? As you can see today lain sikit because the background berbeza. For two reasons, sebab kita boleh. Satu sebab not that Rafiq tiba-tiba strike lottery, it's green screen. I don't want orang wah tiba-tiba sure dia want cost charge extra tu yang rumah ada piano sekarang. Just want to inform people jangan percaya green screen sebab green screen macam tu. And then for me is I'm at my laundry sebab business my business hours is up to 6 o'clock. So yes, welcome to my laundry. Apa khabar? Ni dia. And I strategically place my price tag kat tepi tu, so korang nak datang lah. So anyway,
iklan percuma.
wait, let's talk about money. Okay, I'm sharing on my social media sebab I nak orang masuk. Once again, apa khabar? Welcome to another financial hotline where we talk about anything financial. Remember, it can be about, yes, kita ada specific topic, but if you want to ask about anything, go ahead. Silakan, we'll open it up. We're going to focus on a few things like Raya. We're going to focus on also, what was the other thing I want to focus? Sorry, otak sedih blur.
Yes.
EPF. I saw one was the funniest. Do you remember the P. Ramli movie called Alibaba Bujang Lapuk?
Bujang Lapuk, yeah.
And then when Ali Sata got the money, and then he got to practice jalan macam orang kaya, I saw a friend of mine post that he's going to receive his money, and then underneath and post that video. Sekarang saya kena belajar macam mana nak jalan sebab aku dah kaya. So that itself already menakutkan, but we'll see lah what happens. But anyway, welcome to the show. You all ada apa-apa soalan, no problem. You can scan the code right underneath here. Mana here? Here, dekat sini. Scan this code, you can get a free financial health check, or on top here macam ni. That is all if you want to type in. Okay. Also follow all their social media to get all your updates about when it comes to finances, how to grow it, and so on and so forth. Dah, tu dia. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a recap of last week, just because last week we had a guest, and last week Kelang Kabut a bit there. We talked about SME, how to build businesses and stuff like that. But since I'm in my laundry and I'm going to take advantage of my friend, sebelum we get to our topic, just to make sure that people can have an open idea that you can ask us any questions. As a new business owner, what kind of, because last week I remember the most important thing, my most important takeaway was cash flow is very important, to monitor cash flow. Okay, for a business macam ni, what is the things that I have, like the dashboard, like I'm going to say, that I have to look for? You don't have to give me specifics. I know that one I got to hire you, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying top line so that orang faham how to use that. So yes.
Yeah. So I guess for you, you would want to be able to track what your revenue is.
Right.
So basically your total collections, and if possible to have it in a way that breaks it down by the sources of income.
That one already in.
Yeah, because example, so you have a delivery service, so that will be one source of income. You have people who walk in, who use the
drop and go
machines to
drop machines. And go.
Yeah, machines. So that's a source of income also. And you also, I assume, like I've seen in other places lah, they have like a vending machine.
Oh, tak ada. So okay, I give you my three sources income direct. It's going to be the drop and go, the pickup one. It's the drop and go service is where orang just datang bagi pakaian dan blah, and then self-service laundry. So those are the three source of income, and because it's cashless system, I've got everything back end straight away dia guna. I already got record.
Yeah, so because so if we just look from that point of view, right, why you want that, or why you want to have that, is so that because especially at the start, you want to know which areas should you work on in order to optimize.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, so right now, so for your drop and go, you probably need a staff. Okay. So you want to know with regards to the workload of the staff, should I have more staff? what type of stuff should I get? Can I just get away with taking part-time stuff? So basically college students who need additional money, things like that. Because if you open near like college dorms, etc., blah, 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 there'll be probably college students who like, okay, I have free time between my classes and everything, and I could use some extra money, right? So if let's say the workload on the drop and go is actually the highest,
Yes.
so that gives you input. So okay, let me look into how I can increase my capacity on this side while maintaining my cost.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So then that's how, like, when you think about a dashboard. So that's how. So what would be the information that you want to see in order for you to then analyze the information and then make decisions based on that?
All right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be one lah. So next would be you just want to know, okay, what are your expenses?
Correct. That
Yeah.
one.
What
That one
what are,
also monitored. Bagus. I
yeah,
ada
what
tu.
are your expenses? So is like, say, because just now we were talking about workload,
Yep.
right? We were talking about workload, things like that. But from an expenses point of view, you want to see which would relate to the margin. So are you spending accordingly for each line of service? So before we started, I did mention that your drop and go service is actually very cheap. It's actually very cheap. So I'm giving you free plug-in
No, no, betul,
airtime
betul.
lah.
It is.
So yeah, so you know that you can go to JJ punya ni, you can drop your laundry for 17 kilos, and you only pay for the 19 ringgit. So if you drop 5 kilos also, you pay 19 ringgit. So
Correct.
from a financial planner point of view, drop 17.
Correct. No, no. It's
drop,
it's true. It's true.
yeah, drop as heavy of a load as possible lah to JJ to take advantage of it lah. But my comment to him before we started, I thought that was very cheap. So but then if you have your view of your expenses, then you can see, hey, is this making sense or not? Or am
Yep.
I charging it too cheap?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah,
Understand.
because I had a client before who was only tracking on the sales punya portion, which is the revenue side. So, and one of their top sellers were this kuih. So, cucur badak, this Malay kuih lah, cucur badak. So, top seller, like number one or number two, and like total sales were in the hundreds of thousands a year lah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, and they were proud of it. So they was like, okay, yeah, people like this, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So but but they never tracked the expenses in terms of how much was put into
Betul.
making it.
Correct.
Okay. So then when I went in and I checked the cost price of me, including the direct and indirect costs, I found out that they were actually losing money every time they made one cucur badak. They were actually losing a few cents every
Wow.
time they make cucur badak.
Right.
Okay. So then the more you make, the more you will lose.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it also happens to a client of mine who used to have this premium milkshake business. Okay.
Understand.
So they were making it, and the people were buying it. But they priced it wrongly. They priced it
Right.
wrongly, and like the business was being kept afloat by other things that they were doing. So in a normal situation, you might say that is a loss leader. But if the loss leader is making too much losses,
Yeah.
then it can affect the whole business, because there are some businesses that purposely make losses when they sell certain things,
Right.
so that they can make money in
Other
the
places.
other parts.
Macam kedai RM2.
Yeah. So but in that sense, in both of the examples I was giving, their loss leaders were so crippling that they had to then pump in money from outside.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they
Understand.
had to pump in money from outside. So at least at the minimum, these are the two areas that you should be having on your dashboard and monitor.
Understand.
And then so that because the value for a small company, a small business that is starting up, is you're agile.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
can make decisions fast, you can make changes fast in order to because okay, even if let's say you change, I know we've talking about it, but if let's say you change from, let's say, 19 to 25, it's still too early in your
Yeah.
life cycle that not a lot of people will be saying, oh, tiba-tiba JJ naikkan harga, because a
Correct.
lot of people tak pernah datang pun lagi.
Correct. 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 No, but the truth is, I would not raise it I actually was thinking about it and discussing, and the maximum I'll raise is about RM2. That's about it. Because it makes sense. Because I'm playing a volume game. I'm not playing. So if I've got the volume, people still come in, and it's still making me money rather than losses. I think it makes sense. So that's why. So
Yeah.
there you go. We already got free for everybody nak faham and free for me. Yay, bagus. Let's address a few issues that in the comment from Hanif. First of all, dia kata aku nak komen sikit pula berapa ribu piano tu. We like to say that is a background dah made clear. This is background. This is green screen. Jangan panik. Semua orang jangan lebih-lebih. Then Hanif ada satu lagi soalan. Dia tanya, sofa Chesterfield ke tu? I don't know. What in the background picture
Yeah,
dia kata.
so to be honest, if you ask me, I don't even know. I don't even know the brand of the sofa I have at home or whatever furniture I have at home. What I know is I have to pay for it. But this is not my home, and this is not even my computer. I'm actually using my older sister punya computer because I'm at her house. So instead of setting up my own laptop, etc., blah blah, so I said okay. She said okay, use her computer. So the background was in her computer.
Bagus.
So
I like it. I like it a
so
lot.
to be honest, I do not know lah. I do not know. Kan? So Imran di Chesterfield, if anybody who's viewing it know that it's a Chesterfield, then you can reply to Hanif
Yes.
punya message lah. Or people know the price of that grand piano, so people can reply lah to apa
Please
Hanif punya comments
answer.
lah. Yeah.
So
So but
now,
those are things that I don't even worry about lah, because those are things that I would not purchase in a normal circumstance lah.
correct. Okay, so now let's focus on the important issues. Like, let's start with the first topic that we're going to focus on today, which is duit sudah masuk EPF. Some people are getting it early, some people are getting later. The I believe you can check when your distribution is going to be given to you within your EPF form. So there. So let's talk first of all orang yang sudah apply nak keluarkan duit. Let's not talk about the orang still thinking about it first. Let's talk of the people dah withdraw, no choice, no turning back. 10k dah keluar from your EPF. Jom kita talk. I don't know exactly are they releasing the money 10k satu shot atau bit by bit by bit.
10k one shot.
10k one shot. Oh.
10k one shot.
Okay, then
Yeah,
it's
so
very
your friend
bahaya.
betul lah jalan orang kaya tu lah.
No, but that is very bahaya because the last time they did the ICITRAO, ICINA like that, it's divided monthly to 2000 or stuff like that, right? So, sekarang bahaya. Raya dah nak datang. Duit dah nak masuk. What should people do supaya duit tu yang sepatutnya digunakan untuk your extending your time period of tak ada duit, what should they do?
Okay, so there's actually several options. Okay, so this is for people who took out the money in order to manage their commitments. Okay, in order to manage their commitments lah. So I would probably assume part of it is with regards to the loans or financing that you have to pay. Okay.
Yep.
So there's actually several options. One option is that you can pay in advance. So if let's say it's a housing loan, so you can go to the bank and say, okay, I want to pay 3 months or 6 months in advance. At least for 3 months or 6 months, you don't have to worry about that particular loan.
Okay, correct.
Okay, so then it would have fulfilled the initial objective of why you took the money out. It's as you said lah, to buy us some time. Okay, because so and when we were talking about it in our WhatsApp group about this, so like and this was actually a question that was also asked to me by one of the TV stations. They actually asked me, and I've already given the video, but they haven't added it yet. So I did highlight the fact that because the timing, so the timing of this withdrawal is actually so close to Raya, there is a possibility that some people are also potentially will use this money for Raya related expenses, especially because we haven't really per Raya for the past 2 years.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, so like buy baju raya, duit raya, apa new curtains, new sofa, Chesterfield sofa, etc. etc. Blah blah blah. Right. So and if let's say you do that, right? So basically you are giving way for your wants,
Yeah.
then you're taking out from your future need, which is your retirement account. So,
Correct.
and I've always said before, so if you want to take it out and you have a real need to take it out, so example, you want to pay your loans because you don't have enough money to pay the loans because moratorium has stopped in February. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yep.
But if you're just taking it out just to spend on your wants, so my general advice would be no, because EPF has always shared statistics, news cuttings, etc., that majority of Malaysians or EPF contributors don't have enough for retirement.
Yeah.
So basically, you by taking that action, you are contributing to future statistics already. Okay.
Yeah.
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 So that one is something because and you cannot only also think about the 10,000 that you've taken out now. Okay. So this is what number 3 or number 4 already in terms of
Number three.
withdrawals.
Number three.
Yeah. So at the minimum, most probably you've already taken about 31,000. At maximum, you probably have taken out about 80 to 90,000 already.
Yeah.
Because one
Yeah.
of the withdrawals you can take up to 60,000 ringgit.
Something like that. Yes. Yes. At one point.
Yeah, so and that would actually have a major impact to your future retirement goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
even for my clients who engage financial planners, right? If we just talk about the money that they have in APF, none of them will be able to retire. None. So
Saya
It's
sekali.
only when they start including other resources. So meaning that money that they save on their own, etc. They invest outside, apart from what is in APF, then they have a fighting chance. Yeah, but if on APF alone, yeah, none. Even
Wow.
even those that are earning, like say, 20,000, 30,000 a month, still have not in. They still don't have enough for their retirement,
Correct. And
even if you
and
project to their retirement
the
age.
the scary line you kata they have a fighting chance. Not not it's okay no. They have a fighting chance. In other words, nyawa-nyawa ikan. And a reminder to semua orang yang watching ni please remember the duit you taking out of EPF is not free money from the government. It is your money that you have been saving and you are taking and using it now rather than save it for your future. Just make that very, 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 very clear. All right. So now we've cleared already pasal the how to spend it. For the people who not, let's just be clear lah. You nak to take out that money, spend a bit on raya. We tak cakap jangan. There's no such thing as jangan.
Save money.
Tetapi kena pandai-pandai. If that money is just purely for celebration, then habis. I like what Adrian says. I was leading to Adrian. Belum lagi apply pun, tapi thinking to apply. And Adrian also added another comment where the first one I think he took out. There. The previous also I draw 10K first draw, then subsequently XX figure. Ooh, that means he's drawn just like everyone else. Now, let's rehash this topic that we've discussed before. I know setengah orang malas want to look at old videos. Okay, no problem, kita repeat. Okay. If you're taking out money for investment and the excuse of it is you think you can find better places to invest, boleh. Second reason you're taking it out, you want so that you can liquefy that form of money in case of emergencies in the future, boleh juga. We're not saying no. Tetapi you are compromising the profits, the benefits that you're going to get from EPF for that easy convenience. Yes, for that convenience. So you're compromising that for your convenience. Please paham all the situation. We want you to understand. Jangan buta-buta je buat. Now, back to what Adrian still thinking about it. We've already said don't if you don't need it. If you want to take it out for your wants, don't. Tetapi if you do want to take it out, what are the proper ways of doing it?
So do you know? Okay. So people who remember this reference. So because you mentioned about Alibaba Bujang Lapuk,
Ah,
Aziz Sata, and all that, right? So like this EPF money that people can withdraw. Like you know what it reminds me of? The
what?
Kancil and Monyet, the Kancil
Oh,
and Monyet punya
aku
kartun.
tak kisah. Aku nak juga.
Aku nak juga. Ah, boleh Monyet, tak boleh. Aku nak juga. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So apa? That's for me. That is how I see it lah. So like the EPF money is actually like the chili plant.
Okay.
So and like the apa contributors or the deposit EPF account holders are the monkeys lah. Sorry lah.
Betul.
If,
No, agree. Okay. Before we
yeah,
continue, we just
technology.
have
This is
to.
technology lah.
Yeah. We got to acknowledge Adrian who kata aku tak ambil, aku bukan monyet. No. Okay, Adrian, clear. Sorry, bro. I just assumed.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Tapi he
Yeah.
said he didn't withdraw. Okay. But let's
Okay.
assume orang call lain did the thing where he took out all the money already. Okay, let's talk about that.
That's how I see it lah. That's how
Yeah.
I see it. Like most of the people. So because like, okay, it's like okay. So in normal situations, we could not have access those money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been saying like, nanti kita tak sempat nak rasa this EPF money. So there are some people who are just taking out the money just because they can, not because they have to or they
Because they
must
can.
do,
Yeah.
just because they can. So I do know of some people who are just doing that.
Yeah.
Just doing that, and they are actually just using there's no purpose in terms of taking out the money. There's
Yeah.
no purpose in terms of taking out the money. So to me, if let's say there's no purpose and you're not spending it, but you're like putting it aside, etc., then this is fine. If you're taking out the money and then you're spending it without clear reason of spending it, so you need to understand that it's like similar to the monkey in the cartoon. So you will then be running to find water. You'll be running to find water. Maybe it might be sooner or later, or it will come lah. It's just a matter of when. Okay,
Correct.
the feedback will come. It's just a matter of when. Okay, yeah. So you were saying earlier about some people taking out the money for invest. Yeah. So it's like I always say, it's your money. It's actually up to you what you want to do. So what we're doing here is just telling you what are the pros and cons of your decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to understand that you're taking out money that is giving actually not bad returns.
Yeah.
So between 5 to 6% a year. Okay.
Yep.
So this past few days, I was actually teaching future Islamic financial planners. So I was actually the trainer for the Islamic financial planner course. So one of the topics that we talked to was investments.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about investments and we're talking about creating a portfolio. So, like, because most people, when they talk about investments, they talk about it in a particular instrument. So, this investment is giving me X%, this giving me X%. But from a financial planning point of view, from a fund manager point of view, we actually talk about investments for a total portfolio point of view.
All right. Okay. The big picture.
Big picture. Okay, so in the big picture, right? So having a total portfolio that gives you anywhere between 6 to 8% is actually really good. It's
Right.
actually really good because it's actually not easy to get. So the fact that EPF with the size of their fund size can give us between 5 to 6% on an annual basis is actually damn good.
Yep.
It's actually damn good. So and a lot of people out there, even so-called investment gurus, etc., they are struggling with consistency.
Correct. And the good thing about EPF, it's zero risk. Okay.
Yeah,
I
then
know
there's zero risk to it.
some people talking. I want to take out. I want to invest in crypto because crypto is now slowly going down. So it's a good time to buy. When it goes up, then I kaya. But be wary about crypto. I know stories of people who made millions within a few months. I know stories of people who lost millions within a few months at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's volatile. That crypto is like
Yeah.
up down very fast.
You're talking about crypto, which is something relatively new. There are people who are actually using it to trade things like futures, even like stocks, and they already lost their money. So
Oh,
there is a post that is being shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media, that's going viral. That somebody like took out the 10,000 and had
yeah.
already lost the 10,000. Already
You
lost the
already
10,000.
because of futures.
Yeah, because of futures.
Ayo.
So
Futures
so
is the
so
most
this
dangerous.
yeah, so this is just apa example lah. Like if you do not know what you're doing, you should
Yeah.
not try to do it. You should not
Yeah.
try to do it. So like trying to take out the money and then like trying to strike it rich fast is a recipe for disaster lah. It's a
Yeah.
recipe for disaster.
Just to answer Adrian, hypothetical lah, bro. He's asking me who made millions. I want your friends list. Hypothetical. Bukan. I say I know of, as in I pernah dengar story kat YouTube and benda-benda tu. Bukan personal friends. Oh yo, bahayalah korang ni. But I got to watch my words. Very dangerous. Someone shared a video. I don't know what that video, so I'm not recommending to click. So please, Farihatuli Hiza, explain what that video is about because I have no idea what that video is. If you can, please explain. But once again, just to go back to everybody who's just joining in, where it's the financial hotline where you can ask any questions. Yes, our topic now we're focusing on EPF and the money coming out and the withdrawal and semua tu. Tetapi if you got any other questions, please feel free to put it in the comments. As you can see, we read your comments, we will answer, and we will answer. So that video is the Hikayat Sang Kancil and Monyet. Oh my God. So please you go watch it if you want. If you don't know what we're talking about, thank you so much for sharing that then. Fariha Tuliza. Thank you so much for sharing that. So once again,
Thanks, Hari.
yeah, so please ask any questions, anything at all. I already at the start use for my business. I churi free advice. And if you want, if you're watching this underneath here, there's alamak, not the here gone already. But if you see a QR code, you can
That
scan the QR code underneath here, and you can get a free financial health check. They won't give you what to do; they'll just give you the results. All right, and it's not in depth. If you want in depth, of course, up here, so you can scan the write the code. But if you want in depth, get in touch with them. They will, of course, hire them, and they will go in depth and help you with your thing. Other than that, please
unless
follow all their social
uh,
medias. They will help to explain everything. Tu je.
unless you want to be like JJ lah. You want to be like JJ, you work with us so that we can have a quid pro quo. So like
Quid pro
he does
quo.
something. Yeah, he does something for us, then he can get free advice.
Scratching back. It's called the scratching back system.
Yeah, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, kind of thing lah.
Macam tu.
So
I like it.
so if you feel that you have something to contribute to WVA in other ways besides monetary, yeah, so you can also get in touch with us. Then we
Correct.
can see how we can work together.
Exactly. And the main reason why we are doing this is to increase the financial literacy of people. So that's why I said, please ask any question. If you've got financial questions and don't know where to go, ask here. We will jawab. I'm not a financial planner. I don't know anything, but the knowledge I have acquired and being able to talk right now and speak on behalf certain things is because I've been talking to this guy here. Okay, I tanya dia soalan, dia jawab, saya belajar. That's how what I've been doing.
Yeah, so 1 year plus already, right?
1 year plus, and dude, correct me if I'm wrong. Whatever I explained earlier does make sense, and you will vouch for what I said. So I learned from you.
Salah.
So it's like that. So once again, ask any questions. If you've got a financial question, ask. Put it in the comment. If it's not live, we will answer after that. People from WVA will put it in the comments and answer your question. Okay, back to the investments and everything. We have to be clear that please be wise about the money you're spending. This is your future money. Money that supposed to go for your retirement or even supposed to go to your family when in case you pass away. All right? For your kids' education can be used. So in a way, you're taking their money. So pandai-pandai lah, be wary about that.
So if you read between the lines, when I was saying like no one that I know actually has enough EPF money in order to retire. So technically the money that you take out from EPF is not a money that you can afford to lose.
Correct. No, agreed. But
Yeah. So
that being said,
it's not money that you can, yeah.
we go back to the earlier part where we say, if you really terdesak, please don't. Please
Yeah.
take. If you terdesak, please take. Because we have discussed this before, where there are people who are filing for bankruptcy but got hundreds of thousands in EPF. So we're not saying jangan. We kata kalau terdesak, silakan. Jangan kalau boleh, tiba-tiba baju raya berbling bling bling, your songket is like a few $1,000. Janganlah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something that, sorry lah, I cannot relate. So like during the session today, so we were talking about preparing for Raya also. So I said like, because one of the participants asked me, have I completed my.
Oh, okay. Suddenly your audio hilang. Bro, is it me or is it...
No, it's me. It's me.
Okay.
It, like suddenly like it drops off, then it connects back. So
Okay.
like a question that was asked of me is, okay, have I done my Raya preparation? So my answer was no, because usually even for Raya, I usually wait until the last week before I buy baju Raya. So that's when all the baju Raya is already sold at a discount.
All right. No,
Yeah.
which is actually a smart investment. But you don't get
Yeah.
your proper size. You kena do extra work, late work, running around looking for the right one. Tetapi you will get it at a discount. Let's look at the question Adrian has for us lah. Okay, let's see if we can jawab. Soalan Adrian adalah, so if one has made withdrawal for all the purposes and now, all the previous and now, what is the total withdrawal accumulated? Let's count. First one was 10% of how much you have. That was the
So
first
it's
one.
about 10. I think,
But
yeah, I
it
think there
can
was
go
a
to
max
13.
also. There was,
There was a max. I
the
think
first one was up
15K.
to 60. Yeah.
60, yeah.
60, I think, the first one.
All right. So up to 60K. Then after that, the second one, I think only, how much? Just 6K or something like that only, right?
I can't remember the exact amount, but I've seen somewhere that somebody actually compiled. So it
You're right.
is a minimum about 31,000. That would be the minimum amount. So, and the maximum would be around 81-ish thousand lah.
Holy samosas.
So basically 81,000, you can actually buy my car with cash lah. Let's put it that way lah. And
Wow.
have extra money for bells and whistles lah for the car.
Correct.
So to put it into perspective lah.
It's gila, weh. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. Yeah, it is a lot of money.
So,
So like I said lah, again, I just want to iterate. We're not saying that you cannot take out the money. It is your money. It's
Yes.
what you want to do it. You just need to understand what is the implications of you taking out the money. That's it.
correct.
So if you are clear with that, and then in the future something goes wrong, okay, you don't have sufficient money for me, so you are aware, okay, I made the decision to put myself in this situation. No one else actually forced me to do so.
Correct.
Yeah, so is that. So similar when I talk to my clients about investments. So I don't say, okay, you kena buat. Okay, I tell them what they need to do, why they need to do it. I tell them what would be the implications of doing it, what would be the implications of doing both the good side and the bad side. Okay, so but in the end, no guns are being forced on their head.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they would then have to make the final decision, saying, okay, I understand and I am willing to take the plunge.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So if let's say it goes south, which currently a lot of investments, especially those who started last year, I'm just being upfront,
Yep.
is in negative territory. To be honest, I'm not worried. I'm also invested in the market, and
Yep.
the way I see it, there is similarities between now and 2020, like when MCO happened.
Right.
Because my view when in 2020, and I'm not sure whether I shared it here, is that we actually went through a fake recovery.
Yeah. No, agreed. Agree.
Yeah, so the capital market actually showed a fake recovery. Why? Because there was an unprecedented amount of liquidity that was made available.
Yeah.
Mainly in Malaysia was the EPF money, the first withdrawal, the up to 60K, and
Yeah.
also the moratorium. Actually, the moratorium had the biggest impact.
Right. Yeah. True. True.
Moratorium had
True.
the biggest impact. Yeah, because just if let's say you do simple math lah, you do simple math. Okay, so assume there are 16 million working Malaysians.
Yeah.
Okay, you can key in the calculator lah as we
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So assume there are 16,000 16
16
million working
million.
Malaysians.
Yep.
60 million, and let's say we take only 50%, only which is half, which is 8 million. Okay, and we say this 8 million actually is earning at least 5,000 a month.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
sounds logical, right?
Yes.
Okay, so assuming that all of this group of 8 million has DSR of 60%,
Okay.
means that they are paying commitments loans at 3,000 a month.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so you times 3,000 per month times 8 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
18 million. Wait,
More than that.
3,000. 18
3,000.
000. But it's in a billion or trillions?
Yeah, it's in a billion. It's in a
Okay,
billion.
there
So
you
it's
go.
about, I
Billion.
think it's about 24 billion,
24
if I'm not
billion.
mistaken.
24. Yeah. Sorry. My math just failed
Yeah.
there.
So
Tiba-tiba.
yeah. So imagine that you were in the stock market before. So you know
Yeah.
what 24 billion can do in terms of moving the stock market.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So and times 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
So
Agreed.
it was 100 at least 144 billion of liquidity was made available. Instead of going to pay off loans, it went elsewhere. So obviously,
Ah,
okay, economy improved, okay, but it wasn't sustainable
yeah.
because it was a form of printed money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a form of printed money. So when that money supply was gone, suddenly like everything dang, everything
Dang. Which
went down.
Which the crazy part is we did address the fact when the moratorium came out, we did address the fact that if you can afford it, don't take the moratorium. We informed you of that. We informed you the risk. We didn't say jangan totally put a gun to your head. We informed you the risk of doing that and complacency that will come with it. Tapi tak nak dengar. So tak apa. Dah. Okay. And also we've always said that when it comes to investments, remember you're investing money you don't mind losing. That's the fact. Don't invest money that you cannot lose.
You cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, you cannot afford to lose.
So
Yes.
yeah, so there are money that you can afford to lose, but you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But there are money that you cannot afford to lose. So example, like the person who like is like being viral right now lost 10,000 in terms of investing, etc. So that was money that he couldn't afford to lose.
Yep. But
That was money that he couldn't afford to lose. Yeah, but that 10,000 is gone already.
yeah,
Like cannot get back. Cannot get back
correct.
already.
Correct. That money is there's no way of recovering that. You know what I mean? So that's gone. So once again, be aware when it comes to your EPF. You want to withdraw. I understand the pros and cons. Whatever you're gonna do, if you want to take it out and invest somewhere else, pros and cons. Do all the research. If anyone tells you that you can get 600% or 100% every month, they are lying to you. Please be wary of that. It's a Ponzi scheme. Somebody is going to pay for that at the end of the day. Okay, it's somebody is losing lah at the end of the day. Walaupun you kaya, most probably you're taking someone else's money. If you're the first one coming in. So that's just being honest. If you're boleh tidur doing that, go ahead. I don't mind. I'm not one of those people. Let's go into the money that we talk about. Baju Raya, the question that person asked you, dah buat your Raya preparation ke tak? And all that. You're one of those don't mind shopping last minute because you're more thrifty. So let's talk about Raya preparation itself. Because 2 tahun dah tak Raya, a lot of people are going to go overboard. I'm not saying Jangan. Once again, please be clear. We are not saying jangan. Tapi kalau you tak boleh, jangan.
Yes.
Just, yes. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to hold up a mirror. So this cermin, you pandang lah. Kalau you see your wajah kat dalam tu, tolong dengar. Okay, let's go. Let's be a mirror for people when it comes to preparations for Raya.
Yeah, so I guess so the most important thing to remember that like what JJ said lah. So we haven't celebrated Raya for 2 years.
Yes.
Okay, we haven't celebrated for 2 years, but I'm pretty sure most people didn't save the money that would have spent for the 2 years to then have a grand celebration this year.
Yep.
Okay, so please don't go and say, okay, I'm gonna buy a new car. I'm gonna buy a new car so that I can go back kampung and show off. Show off. So yeah, I'm successful. I have a new car. Like, yeah, it's gonna probably like, okay, some people will be, wah, okay, wah, kereta baru ni semua. But in the end, you will then tanggung it long term lah.
Correct.
You will tanggung the
it's
impact long term.
one of your assets that depreciates, not appreciates. Please paham.
Correct. Yeah. So no lah. So if you really want to do that, and you want to have a Selesa car for going back home, and because you don't have a Selesa car to travel back home, because now your kids are bigger, or you've had additional family members because you cannot do anything for 2 years.
So you got additional. Faham,
Yeah.
faham, faham.
Yeah, so you got additional family members, right? So you need a bigger car. There's always the option of renting.
Yeah, betul.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot more rental options available right now, and it is at a fraction of the price with a fraction of the liability.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so you can even rent like Alphard, Velfires, etc. Blah, blah blah, which is okay. It's a very good car.
Correct.
If you were to buy it, then it would be like 200, 300, 400,000. But if you were to rent it per day, it's like, I think it goes as low as 600 ringgit.
And then you rent it
so
for
rent
3
it for-
days. 3
Yeah,
days.
that's only like 1,008.
Correct.
Then after that, send it back. Then you don't have the cost anymore. So why do you want to basically kill yourself to buy a car just to impress people? Then after that, you will then be suffering for, let's say, 7 to 9 years.
Correct. And remember, impress people you're going to see most probably once a year sahaja. So why?
Yeah. So even if, let's say, you rent a car, no one's going to know that you rent a car because they only see you once a year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless
if that is,
you bongkarkan
that's
at
so
your
important
Instagram and social media, then lain lah.
and that's lain lah. So, but if that is so important to you lah, so first don't just buy a new car just to impress other people.
Yeah.
Okay, so if let's say the purpose of buying the car is so that you can then travel comfortably, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So think, how many times are you going to use it a year that you're going to travel long distances?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it might be more cost efficient for you to rent it instead of purchasing it. Yeah. So
Correct.
think about that lah. So think about that. So I think that's the first one. Second, with regards to baju raya, etc. Blah, blah. So just do a bit of research lah, like shop around. Okay.
Yeah.
Shop around. So there are good deals.
Yeah.
There are good deals, and if you're like me who are willing to forgo basically not to say the baju raya that I buy in the last week is not nice. It's still the same baju raya. It's just that I have less choices.
Yeah.
It's just I have choices. But yeah, it's still so like usually I buy baju raya at Pakistan,
Okay.
and they still have a good selection in the last week, and can still get it takes some effort, but I can still get the sizes that I want.
Yes.
Right. But it's like 50% of the price compared to purchasing it in the early part of Raya.
Correct. And like we already stated at the start, 2 tahun dah tak raya. Tetapi I know a few people, the 2 tahun pun beli baju baru. So, time to show off that baju that you bought. Betul tak? I'm just saying lah.
Nice. Yeah. So and because the thing is, okay, like for me, it was very easy. So that baju raya, most probably I'm just going to wear it twice this year. So during Hari Raya and Hari Raya Haji. Right.
And then
So should I be spending like 500 ringgit, 1,000 ringgit for baju raya with like the whole shebang with the sampin and not? No lah. Like for me, no lah. I know other people might think that's very important. So
the
by
question
all
is,
means, if you can
are
afford to
you
do so,
are you a KOL? If you are KOL, mungkin perlu. I'm just joking. Jangan marah KOLs. I'm talking about the influencers lah, in case you nak tahu. But go ahead. Yes. Sorry.
yeah. So for me personally, I don't see the need to do so. But if you feel that there's a need for you to do so, you're an influencer, and that's also how you earn an income, things like that, from people commenting on how you dress, etc. Blah, blah, blah. By all means, go ahead, but make sure that whatever decision that you make with all these purchases doesn't cripple you. So it's something that you can really afford.
Yeah.
Okay, something
Yeah.
that you can really afford. So I've always said, and I also say to my clients, I said, if you can afford it, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I had a client who just told me, Rafiq, I want to buy I think what, CLK. Oh no, or
Okay.
CLA 200.
Kita mahal lah.
Okay. Kita mahal lah. Kan? So who don't know, that's a Mercedes lah. Okay. Right, a Mercedes. So then he asked me, can I said, yeah, you can afford it, go ahead. So a financial planner doesn't stop you from buying it.
Correct.
Right? If you can afford it, even if there's no real reason for you to purchase it, right? I would just say, okay, so this is okay, you don't really need it, you can do without it, but if you still want to go ahead and do it, go ahead. So I had another client who just recently bought a GTI.
A GTI, okay.
Yeah. So also not a cheap car.
Yes.
Not a cheap car. So but I just highlighted the pros and cons. Highlighted the pros and cons. I knew he could afford it. There was no issue with him affording it. So I said, yeah, if you want to buy it, tak salah. You tak buy it pun tak salah. So in the end, he made the decision to buy it. So same thing with baju raya or new furniture at home or a new car, etc. The most important thing is, could you afford buying it? And by buying it, does it affect also your future punya plans?
Correct. And
how does it affect it?
I'm going to bring back something that Rafiq said long time ago, talking about spending money. Now, go back to that baju. He brought up the KOLs. If you buy that, and that's the way you make money. In other words, people will pay you money, or your views are very important. And go ahead, because there's returns coming in from your investment of buying that. Then goes back to kalau nak beli your Velfire, Alphard and all that. But right after this, you start one business, picking up people, and that Velfire now becomes a way for you to make money, then go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. If that thing you're investing is going to bring back money, go. Do it. Yeah. If there's research, you did your proper research, and there's a way for you make money from it, go ahead. If you're talking about beli a car for status symbol so that it'll bring in bigger businesses, go ahead. You know what I mean? If there's track record and proof that actually makes money, go ahead. Tapi just because you want, then dangerous. That's all.
Yeah, because like in the past few months, I've had cases where people approach me and they say, okay, I cannot afford to hold on to my car anymore.
Yep.
So, but if I sell it, I would have to top up money.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be a good financial decision. But if I don't do anything, then come a time I cannot pay it, then the car would be tarik anyway.
Correct.
So still not good. So what's the option? So, but that is going to become more prevalent. That's going to become more prevalent soon. There are options. I'm not going to say the options out here lah. But one of it is trying to monetize it lah.
Yeah.
Trying to monetize it by either renting it out or etc. Blah blah blah. Right. So those are one potential option that you can look at, but then you need to know who can do it, what's the risk of doing it, things like that. Because obviously anything that you do, there are pros and cons.
Yes.
Okay. It's not going to be like smooth sailing. Say, oh yeah, you do this, no issue, no risk. It's not like EPF, ASB, tabung haji, all that. Right. So everything else that you do in life with your money, there is a risk involved to it.
Right. Adrian asked a very interesting question. Your two clients that bought new cars, are they in the category of survived in retirement?
So I would say that they are within striking range.
Ah,
They are within striking range, so their financials are not bad. So at least they have a few 100,000 in liquid savings.
right. So,
So and their retirement is still far away.
yeah.
So they
So,
are in their 30s or early 40s. So and they plan to retire at least 15 to 20 years from now. So yeah, they are within striking range or nila. So they haven't at least the calculation hasn't shown that they will achieve it. But even purchasing those cars doesn't set them back that much.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
because the most important thing with regards to especially retirement is the time that you have.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, next one. I love this one. Is just the statement that is menang is Hanif's statement, where Hanif kata, which is I like lah. I'm wearing my akad nikah baju yang tahun 26 muat dah.
So tapi bukan akad nikah yang baru eh.
Hai, tak ada. Jangan, dia tu bahaya. Jangan cakap macam tu. But you are win. I like it. Thank you very much. Next, interesting one I want to talk. Victor, thank you for doing the calculations. Victor, our champion. After Raya, please, we'd love to meet up with you. If you can, let's meet up. Teh tarik. Or maybe you come on the show. We would love to talk to you as well. But this was the breakdown of how much money you've taken out from EPF already. Holy banyaknya
Yeah.
duit.
4 times, yeah. So basically, yeah, 4 times. So 81K.
That's a lot of money, bro.
That is a lot of money. So 81K. So basically, imagine, so if let's say you've taken out the 81K and
Yep.
you compound it for the next 15 years. So
Yep.
example, you have 15 more years to go. Okay. So 81K compounded at, let's say, just 5% per year
Yep.
for 180 months. So basically, you're potentially losing 171,000 in 51 years.
Holy wow.
So basically, if the money is just spent without any returns for it, etc., so you're potentially losing 171,000 15 years from now from your retirement funding.
Which
From your retirement funding,
is
yeah.
a lot of money.
So that's what that yeah, it's a lot of money. So that's why because and a lot of people can't even think about that amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so they cannot imagine even that amount of money because they've never seen that amount of money.
Correct.
They've never seen that amount of money in their life. So like 107,000 is for some people is a small amount of money, but for some people it's like money they have never seen in their lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Right. So just imagine, let's say if you're a family that only like household 2,000 a month. So that's like 24,000 a year. 171,000 would last you at least what 6, 7, 8 years
correct.
without any compounding return.
Which is crazy. But that
So
being said, for people who just watching and never have watched this show before, we have discussed the fact if you're earning 2005, you can become a millionaire. We taught you how. So look at our old videos and learn, okay? Tolong belajar. We have discussed it. We're not kata tak boleh lah, habis lah and all that lah, okay? So we're just telling. But yeah, so Victor, thanks again. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we did the compounding.
yeah.
So I hope semua orang faham all that money. Okay, now what else? When it comes to Raya, besides the baju people spend, people tend to spend on duit Raya. Want to give out. We're not saying jangan bagi duit Raya. Please don't give out money yang you tak ada just because you nak muka punya pasal.
Yeah, no. So don't take out personal loans. Don't do the cash advances from your credit cards or cash advances from your employers, etc. Just so that you have you basically what JJ said lah, you want to jaga air muka. There's nothing wrong. Sometimes you say, okay, I'm not doing that well but this year, so no duit raya. But if have it, so just pray for me so that things turn around. so that in the future I can give back the raya. So because okay, so when during MCO, and this is a real story, during MCO. So in the first few months of MCO, I actually the management actually told the staff, so say, okay, we're not planning to let go anyone. Okay, we're not planning to get anyone. So but this is the situation of the company. So we were losing 70% of our monthly revenue.
Right.
So we
That's a lot.
basically we weren't making enough in order to pay the staff.
Right.
So etc. Blah. So we were figuring out, okay, how do we go about etc. Blah blah. So and we were reviewing our cash flow regularly, just so that we are on top of things. So I went to the staff and I just said lah. So if let's say any staff is like willing to volunteer, so basically to take a temporary pay cut, so it's basically an advance to the company. And
Right.
once things are okay, we will then give it back to you. And I just explained it to them. And actually, there were some staff that actually did it without being forced.
Right.
And once, like I think in July, once everything was settled down and everything, so we got back on track, etc. So we paid back everything without any. So, but sometimes it's just like being honest, being upfront. It's okay. Like it's better than jaga muka, like what Helmi said last year lah. Jaga muka, ego, etc. And in the end, like the floor fell below you, and then you just fall
Correct.
harder. And that's actually worse.
Tapi if you want to even give RM1 pun, there's nothing wrong. I bet you, okay, ni I just want to ask you lah. Have you taught your children bila dapat duit raya tolong jangan buka depan orang? I'm sure all sudah diajar dan dimarah dan dididik supaya jangan buat macam tu. So give. Then biarlah. Their parents will explain, uncle tak apa, you know. Oh, please understand your family members and people understand your situation.
Correct. So because like what I tell my kids, like, okay, so this money that you get, you're actually getting it for no particular reason apart from like that person wants to give this money to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's money that you didn't put in any effort in terms of to get. So basically, even if you get RM1, it's RM1 that you never had before and you didn't have to work for it. So the word is you should bersyukur. You bersyukur that somebody is giving you that additional RM1. Right.
Agreed.
And your point, correct. So I told my kids, I said, no, you never buka the sampul raya in front. So you kumpul all the sampul raya. Once we leave and in the car you want to open, go ahead, no issue.
Betul.
But you don't open, dah terima terus open, then you make the comment, oh RM1 saja, or RM5 saja, or RM10 saja. Like why so sikit, things like that. Then you will get it lah.
Yeah. Adrian's got an interesting question. This one depending on the people lah, Adrian. There's no cap for it. Adrian wants to know.
So I do know. Okay, so this one is not like JJ punya no. So this I do know there are people who give duit raya in the 4 figures.
Yes. Ada.
Yeah, but I also know people who give the raya in the RM1, RM5, RM10 punya category. So it's going to be very dependent on me, because it's also going to be very dependent on the recipient. So there are people who, okay, they might not give, let's say, money to their parents on a regular basis. So, but when raya comes, then they give a lump sum, because usually also raya is when they get like a bonus.
Yes.
Okay, raya is also when they get a bonus, so they have extra money. So then they take the opportunity to give it in a lump sum to their parents. Yeah, to their parents.
I'm fixing my lights. Okay, correct.
Okay, so it can happen. It can happen. So, but there are people who basically just give just the same amount as, let's say, maybe they give to their parents on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
During raya. So it depends from person to person lah. From person to person. So it can go really high. So obviously I can't talk about the Tan Sris, the Datuk Sris and all that lah. So I do not know that many Datuk Sris or Tan Sris lah. Okay, like most of my network goes up to Datuk level lah. Right. Yeah. So but even those, like, I think give in the, like, probably can go as high as 4 figures lah. I do not know personally anybody who gives duit raya in 5 figures yet.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. But you never know. Mungkin ada. Okay. But on that note, before we close up the show, I want to remind parents, after the Duit Raya, it's the best opportunity to teach your children about investment, of how much to spend because you dah dapat duit ni, and how much you should keep for your future. Okay. This is the best time after Duit Raya. Yes.
Yeah, correct.
So
Yeah,
please
so
fikir.
yeah. So I think also just to highlight, I think our next session wouldn't be 2 weeks from now because 2 weeks
Correct.
from now is Raya.
Yep.
So we will probably see all of you like 1 month from now.
Correct. Betul.
Like
Betul.
and we probably be talking about finances post festivities lah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
like
So
like we like we are sharing lah, okay, from people. So if let's say you have like anything that you want to share, you can also share.
correct.
And before I forget, so I know it's still early, but Raya is about like 10 days from now.
Yep.
So I would also like to take this opportunity to wish everyone who is watching this video, Selamat Hari Raya, Mahab Zahir Batin. If there are certain things that I have said that maybe like terlukakan hati or whatever, so sorry.
Sama.
I minta
Sama.
maaf banyak-banyak kan. And I hope that you can celebrate Raya with your loved ones for the first time in 2 years for most of you. For me, tak ada difference. My parents and my in-laws are nearby, so there was no difference for me.
Right.
Kan? But take the opportunity, and also for those that are driving back to their kampung halaman, etc., please take care. Please don't be part of the statistic because I think the ops sikap will start soon.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
because usually they start I think a few days before Raya and continue like I think about 1 week or 2 weeks after Raya, and
Correct.
don't be one of those part of the statistics lah, those that are involved in accidents, etc. So take your time.
Yep.
Take your time. There's no rush. It's better to be safe than sorry. Okay.
Yep.
So
Correct.
again, Selamat Hari Raya everyone, and Maaf Zahir Batin from me and WVA.
And also me, whatever he said, sama. Sama. Tak payah repeat. Sama. I 100% bulat-bulat. And also, Adrian tak nak duit raya, dia nak lemang. Boleh. We'll figure out a way. Okay? But once again,
You want lemang from JJ? Yeah. So
from
maybe
Adrian,
JJ can do an open house in his
laundry.
laundry lah.
Lemang kat laundry. You bawa your pakaian, I will give you lemang. Something like that. But anyway, once again, thank you so much for watching. Please share this with all of your friends if you think they will benefit them and help them in any way. Hanif, thank you so much. Selamat Hari Raya, Maaf Zahir Batin as well. If you think this can benefit your friends, please share this with as many people as you can. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again in a month's time. Bye.
Bye.